Hello, I don't know who's in the chat because I cannot see who's in the chat because they're not allowing me to see the chat. So I am going to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that this Monday is been good to you so far and that you are making actually a good Monday. This live is an impromptu live, um, inspired nonetheless via the ancestors. And so I am here. And as you can see in the title, it's a message for the Agantic people of the land. And that's people that look like me and people that look like you.
Yep,
I woke up this
absolutely.
morning and I woke up with anger, anger, anger that turned to sadness, that made tears flow because I realized how disconnected we are. I could feel my ancestors talking through me today.
Yes, Susie. Welcome. Today we
Welcome.
are rising.
And henceforth, that's what brought today's live. Because I said there's something that we are not speaking on. And why is it that we are not coming together? Why is it that we still do not know who we are, or we're second guessing that? Or you know, and you are not stepping into who you are. For whatever the reasons, I'm here making a call today that we come together because as organic people of the land, and I'm going to get more specific, I am looking for the women, because whether you know it or not, we are in a time period of living of where we will be leading this one. And for some of you, I know you have been wrestling with your spirit, and spirit has been speaking with you, and it has not been by chance. And you have been probably wrestling with, who am I? Where are we going? How do we come together? All the same questions I have asked myself. There is a power, my sisters, when we get together. We just got to come together. And I realize that geographically we are all over Turtle Island. And let me make this clear. When I speak Turtle Island, I speak Canada. I speak the United States. Same entity. It has been the programming that you've been programmed with that keeps you divided. We are not separate, and it is our time. You do not have something like the internet that is available to us and not use it in all of that Willie Lynch bullshit that we have subscribed to that keeps us separated. We must stop. We must not feed in no more. And I know that there's been a wounding amongst us, some of it generated by all of that. But nonetheless, the task that is at hand right now, not only will it provide us with our healing, but we are a part of the healing of this planet, and we are needing to come together. So stop letting things like religion, politics, in whatever entity that you may be still subscribing to and invested in, preventing you from coming together.
That's right. That's right.
When I tell you that the ancestors are, they're crying
They're
They're
screaming
crying.
is what it is.
Ah. And then we're not going to talk about the land, the very land that you all set on. And that's all of us. I'm not just talking about the organic to the land, because you know what? I know that people that subscribe to this channel are just not organic to the land people. But I'm assuming that if you're here, you want change. You want to birth in change of something different. But before we have that change, we must recognize where we fucked up as a people, as a collective, which means let's talk about the land because there's lots of blood that's in the soil. And we are in karmic times. And you know what? That blood that's in the soil, I feel them. I feel them. So, for every love and light person that is out there in the spiritual community, you have a job too. Because you know what? You don't get to go love and light and not deal with the shadow. Not just the
Can't.
shadow of yourself, but the shadow that exists from the world around you, the shadow that came from your ancestors. It's time that we have those conversations. It's time that we step into the space and able, be able to handle that kind of a conversation. Because you see, we will never fully elevate to where it is that we are going to be or supposed to be until we deal with that shadow aspect of what has happened to us. Because we don't get to
Right.
bypass it.
You can't. You can't bypass it. You can't fly over it.
And for the organic person that is lost and still in confusion of who you are, because there's lots going on out there in reference to the organic people of the land. However, there's also a very strong campaign to keep the campaign going that we are African. We are not African. We've always been here. Always been here. You are subscribing to a narrative that was created for you so that you would never wake up to understanding who you are. Because if you understood who you are, then you'd understand so many other things about you. So if I keep you confused on that, you're never going to come together because that's the one thing that's starting to divide us.
Yep.
And if you are indeed still buying into that narrative and then you are working in an environment that supports that narrative and that's the main premise, I will say this, you are a part of the problem.
Especially when we act like crabs in a barrel, clawing at one another for success rather
So I
than
come to
working
you,
together.
that's right. So I come to you today, not just with a heavy heart, but with a knowing of who I am, having the strength to have this conversation. And yes, I know that some of you may unsubscribe, and that's okay, because I'm going to tell you this channel was made for powerful conversations, truthful conversations, authentic
Right?
conversations,
Healing conversations.
healing conversations. And it takes character and strength to be able to set in these kind of conversations. Because these are the conversations, folk, that we just keep running away from and dancing around. And we dance around one another. I don't want to dance no more. It is
I mean, I
time.
love to dance, but not that kind of dancing.
Ah.
That kind of dancing is just exhausting, really.
Anyways,
It's
don't cut me off. Please let me finish,
sorry.
baby girl. because what I
Sorry.
need to say, and I appreciate your support, but I need to continue to speak. And then I will let you speak what it is that you need to speak. I realize that a lot has went on between us. I realize that there is an ignorance that still remains in place. You can't let the ignorance continue to rule. You cannot let fear prevent you from entering into the space, because fear is what kept our ancestors down. And if it wasn't fear, there was many things there to suppress them and suppress their tongue, suppress their movements. Well, we're not here. And believe it or not, you have more free will today than what they ever did. So as difficult as this conversation or this message may be, it's time. And here's another thing. You are so wrapped up in the confusion of who you are and where you come from, because you know what? That narrative of the reservation, and I'm going to talk about the reservation Indian, and this is where I'm going to get some flack today, but I'm okay. I was built for this, and I'm ready. I'm ready to have a conversation with you too, because you know that you are not the original people, but you have benefited from a narrative, and things are breaking down. Truth is coming to light. So it's time we have a conversation, because what happened to you? And personally, I'm tired of you telling my story, my people's story. As I said, you want to reach out to me? You want to have a conversation? I got no problem having a conversation with you. Reach out to me. Anti Warriors 666 at gmail.com. It's in the description. You'll find it, of my channel. That's the email. If you indeed, after hearing this, would like to reach out to me and connect, because we have work to do, organic of the land. But collectively, people, we have work to do.
With you.
As I said, it is time. And I'm using the energies of the planets that are lined up right now, the portal that has just opened up, to have this conversation. Because just as they have been harnessing our energy through their holidays that you may be still subscribing to, they're harnessing your energy. I'm going to use the energy of the today to have this conversation. This is not going to be a long live. It was to start a conversation, because I'm done being quiet. I'm done being silenced. And it is time to bring us together. So, Nova Scotia, wake up. Ontario, wake up. It is time for us to wake up. Step into who we are. Because here's another thing, people know who we are. We don't know who we are. It's pretty bad when somebody else steps up and tells you who you really are, and you don't know who you are. You're still lost in confusion, but that's by design. And are you a willful participant to its design? Because you will be a willful participant to its death. Because I can tell you right now, the very entities that you're all subscribing to will never bring you your sovereignty, nor will they bring you what is truly, truly owed to you. So, for all those out there in the communities abroad that are starting to gather now, and you're all in your little pockets because you think there's some money on the board, we ain't going to get our sovereignty like that. We're going to get our sovereignty by coming together. But you got to do that. You got to actually do it. And that's how we break that conjure. That conjure right there. That's how you break the conjure. Stop telling yourself that we can never get along. Stop telling yourself those negative things that have been impressed upon your mind. Now it's programmed. You want to break the program? You do something different. And as I said, women, use your energy to do something that's going to create change, not just for you, not just for your family, but for generations. And I'm talking the collective. Because, here's the deal. It's not just about the organic to the land. We are all at risk here. You see, Mother Earth, ISIS, that's for all of us. All of us. But we must deal with the real story, the full story, because that story is a part of your healing. So, in saying that, I'm not going to keep this message long. As I said, please hit me up via my email, antiwarriors666 at gmail.com. Let's start a conversation.
Is it anti-warriors or warriors anti?
Warriors Antis. Warriors Antis. I'm sorry. It's Warrior Antis. It's in the description box. It's the email that's in the description box of my channel. So I am not going to stay on here long. I just came and did and delivered exactly what Spirit ordained me to do, told me the message to give. So this is the call out. It's time for us to come together. And for those of you in the spiritual community of love and light, it is time to deal with the shadow side of things. We can
That's
do
right.
this. We can do this. Anyways, make a great day. I'm going to catch up with you in the chat later. And thank you for coming out and
Thank you.
helping to support me to do this. In
Of
the
course.
meantime, make a great day. And for everyone that came out and showed up in the live, share this, share
Thank
it,
you.
share it. And thank you for showing up. You truly are appreciated. Make a great day.